Hey everyone, this is going to be a bit of a rant video regarding the Nemesis system. Recently, Warner Bros. Shut down Monolith, the founder of the Nemesis future that took mindless enemy grunts and turned them into personal rivals, giving them names, scars, and grudges. And well, thanks to Warner Bros. Greedy little hands, we're probably never going to see it again. Let me also put this out there up front. I know it's pretty easy to blame the executives for these shutdowns, and rightfully so, but I don't like the assumption that none of these developers were straight up incompetent and bad at their job. I believe these executives are extremely out of touch and mostly the issue with some of these games out there right now, but let's not forget people can just suck at their job. Just take your job for example. I'm sure you can think of at least one person that is incompetent or lazy or both. The same goes for these developers. Not all of them, I'm sure most are extremely talented and them losing their job absolutely sucks, but there are some bad apples out there for sure. So just want to get that out of the way up front before moving on in this video. Anyways, it didn't have to be this way. Warner Bros. Had something special, something that could have revolutionized open world games, AI, emergent storytelling, and instead of letting the industry build on it, they patented it, locked it up, and let it rot. Now, Monolith, the studio behind it, is gone, and the one game that might have resurrected the system, Wonder Woman, canceled. We will get into why these patents just suck in the video game industry a little later, but I would imagine most of the great minds of the system were developers at Monolith and not executives at Warner Bros. So the amazing thing that these guys built is no longer theirs due to this patent. It belongs to Warner Bros. Anyways, today we're going to talk about how one of gaming's most innovative mechanics got buried by corporate greed. We'll break down what made the Nemesis system so unique, why WB patented it, how that single decision killed any chance of seeing it again, and why patents like this are straight up anti-gaming. Because let's be real, if the system had been allowed to grow, we could have so many incredible games using it right now, but instead we have nothing. Think about it. Assassin's Creed, Cyberpunk, imagine if enemies remembered you, held grudges, adapted to your playstyle, but no. Warner Brothers decided that the best way to handle this was to hoard it like Gollum with the One Ring. So let's break it down. What was the Nemesis system? Why did Warner Brothers lock it away? And why does this kind of nonsense need to stop before it kills more innovation in gaming? Before we get into Warner Brothers corporate greed, let's talk about why the Nemesis system was such a big deal. Because if you have never played Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War, you might be wondering, what's the hype? Why do people still talk about this years later? Well, imagine you're out in the open world, fighting through a horde of orcs when suddenly one of them gets the best of you. Maybe you got cocky, maybe he had backup, doesn't matter. Because now, that random grunt has a name, he has a title, and he's climbing the ranks. Next time you see him, he remembers, he taunts you, he's stronger, he's different. And if he kills you again, oh boy, you just made him a legend. No game before or since has done anything quite like it. This wasn't some scripted sequence, this was your story, shaped by your successes and your failures. The enemies weren't just disposable grunts, they became your nemesis. So with a system this innovative and this beloved and this full of potential, you'd think other developers would be using it and creating some pretty awesome open world games. Well, this is where Warner Brothers comes in. So if the Nemesis system was this groundbreaking, why haven't we seen it anywhere else? Why hasn't Ubisoft, CD Projekt Red, or literally any other major studio copied and improved upon it? Well, you can thank Warner Bros. For that one, because instead of letting gaming evolve, they locked it down with a patent. Yeah, I hate to even say that Warner Bros. Created this. It was probably mostly, if not all, done and created by Monolith, but they own it and they legally prevented everyone from using it. In 2021, they officially patented it, meaning that until 2036, no other developer can implement a comparable system without Warner Bros. Say so. You want a game where enemies remember past fights, hold grudges, or dynamically rise through the ranks? Well, that's just too bad. We're going to have to wait for Warner Bros. Version of that, which will most likely just be nothing. And the worst part, this kind of patenting isn't about protecting ideas. It's about preventing competition. It's about Warner Bros. Saying, if we're not going to profit from it, neither will you. And surprise, surprise, after securing the patent, they've done jack shit with it. Seriously, it's been years and Warner Bros. Hasn't put the Nemesis system in any of their games. They filed a patent in 2016, it got approved in 2021, and there have been 0 games since then that have this Nemesis system. No Batman, no Harry Potter, not even their shitty cash grab live service games that they've thrown out there. The one game that was supposed to have this and bring it back, Wonder Woman, got axed. That's right, Monolith's Wonder Woman game was supposed to finally use the Nemesis system again. It was the one spark of hope that this mechanic might actually return, but guess what? Canceled, studio shut down, just another casualty of Warner Bros. Corporate stupidity. So not only did Warner Bros. Lock this Nemesis system away, but they killed the one game that had a chance of using it. And that's why patents like this just suck. It's not about innovation, it's about control. It's about stifling creativity and not encouraging it. And if more companies start doing this, then we can kiss goodbye to new ideas in gaming. The Nemesis system patent isn't just some isolated case. It's part of a bigger problem. Warner Bros. Might be one of the most egregious offenders, but they're far from the only ones guilty of trying to own mechanics that should be pushing the industry forward. Think about it. If patents like this existed earlier, would we even have some of the best mechanics in gaming that we see right now? Would Dark Souls have given us the modern stamina-based combat if publishers had patented it first? Would Battle Royale games be where they are right now if Epic Games or PUBG had locked that down? And it's not just Warner Brothers. Sony had a patent for loading screen minigames, Bandai Namco patented the arrow indicators from Pac-Man. Hell, Nintendo once tried to patent the sanity effects from Eternal Darkness. It's all about control. Control over ideas that should be evolving, spreading, and making games better, but instead, they get locked away and forgotten. This is why patents in gaming suck. A good idea should be able to spread, adapt, and be improved upon. Imagine if platforming had been patented back in the 80s. Imagine if one studio could create first-person shooters because they patented that idea. But that's exactly what's going on with the Nemesis system right now. We're actively killing progress just so one company can hold that idea hostage. And this is the result. Generic enemies, no dynamic interactions, no personalization. Every open world game starts to feel the same because nobody can legally innovate where it matters. And when Warner Bros. Inevitably does nothing with the Nemesis system for a decade, that's just time wasted. Time where other developers could have been improving on it, making it better, giving us new experiences, but nope, it just sits there, locked away like a damn dragon hoarding treasure it will never spend. So yeah, patents in gaming, absolute garbage. And if more studios start to do this, then the only thing that's going to be left is a bunch of half-baked mechanics that never have the chance to become great. At this point, it's hard to be optimistic. Warner Bros. Owns the rights, Monolith is gone, and the one game that could have revived it was shut down before it even had a chance. So unless Warner Bros. Suddenly remembers that they have this gold mine sitting in their vault, it's probably never coming back. And that sucks, because the Nemesis system was truly special. It wasn't just some gimmick, it was a game changer. It made enemies feel alive, made your choices matter, and gave every playthrough a unique story. But instead of inspiring a new generation of dynamic AI systems, it's been locked away, collecting dust. Some devs have tried to make their own versions, but without being able to fully explore what the Nemesis system did, they just end up as watered down imitations. We could have had entire genres built about dynamic AI rivalries by now. Instead, we're stuck in a loop of the same lifeless open world enemies who just stand around waiting to get stabbed. Gaming should be about pushing forward, about learning from what works and making it better. But that only happens if studios are allowed to build on each other's ideas. The Nemesis system could have been the future, but thanks to Warner Bros., it's just another what could have been. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some amazing games out there right now and some awesome games I can't wait to get my hands on. So as much as this does suck and as much as I want to see this system utilized and improved upon, it doesn't take away from my excitement of where games are right now. Because to me, this is the best games have ever been. Sure, the flops are more noticeable these days, but we have been getting some really amazing games recently. Let's just keep the patents away so there can be healthy competition between development teams, because that will just push the industry forward, and that is great for everyone. If they're gonna hold on to the patent, then hopefully we'll get something new with it here soon. Otherwise, all they're doing is stifling innovation. They could make it open source so other developers can build on it, license it out to other studios that actually care about emergent storytelling, or just hand it over to a team that won't let it sit there and collect dust. Anyways, that's all I really want to talk about today. See you guys.